do my best not to make videos clickbait. I haven't posted anything on YouTube in a little while. So it's about 9:30 at night in Cypress, Texas. And that's a U-Haul, and that's a car hauler trailer. So I bought I haven't bought it yet, but I'm in the process of buying a dyno. And my wife has just flat out told me I'm crazy. I'm gonna start tuning cars. So I've tuned my Corvette, I've tuned my Dakota, and figured out that it's not really that hard for me. Maybe it's because of my engineering background, maybe it's because I'm a natural born problem solver. I just like it, I enjoy doing it. I've got friends at work who I've helped out with it. So that's what I'm doing. So tomorrow morning at I guess about 8 o'clock, I'm showing up to a shop here in Dallas that sells nitrous kits, and they're selling their old dyno. So it's a Craigslist find, and I have no idea if it's legitimate, but I loaded up a truck and trailer and drove to Texas to take a look at it. And if it's what the guy says it is and everything that I've checked out, I'm buying it. So I'll post a video probably tomorrow or maybe the day after that. If I buy it, maybe I'll get some shots of the guy who I'm getting it from. Like I said, he's got a shop that sells nitrous kits. And we'll see how this crazy adventure turns out. Some people... You know, I was thinking about this. I kind of tend to do crazy things like this. I don't know if I've ever told the YouTube channel how I got my Corvette. So, I'd worked all the way through school. I'd been in school for a very long time to get my engineering degree. And about halfway through, I realized I was going to have to take a huge pay cut to get an internship, to get a job as an engineer. So I had to rework the way my bills were to allow me to do that. So what I did was I sold my vehicles and everything, and I bought a wrecked S10 Blazer. And I'll put some pictures of it. I paid $100 for that thing. I drove it the last 2 years I was in school, including the last year I was in school where I had an internship because I knew it was coming. And so I was tired of driving old crappy cars. And that truck, this trip down here is actually reminiscent. I drove that truck, that S10 Blazer, right after I graduated. I was telling my wife this story the other day. I decided I was going to take a couple days off after graduation before my full-time job kicked in as an engineer. And I decided I was going to go to the beach for a couple days. Just sit on the beach, watch the sunset, and have a good time. Well, that truck broke down on me halfway to the beach in the middle of nowhere. And it was this big, giant debacle. Well, when I got back from that, I decided to buy a Corvette. I just decided I'm going to do it. Well, I had about $600 in my account, and I was sleeping on the floor in my apartment because of some other circumstances in my life that kind of left me with almost nothing. And so with $600 in my account and a broke down truck, I took a bus, a Greyhound bus to Memphis, where I found my Corvette, and walked the rest of the way to the dealership and bought that car at a dealership with almost no money in my account. And I hadn't even got my first paycheck from my engineering job. And that's one of many crazy things I've done in my life. I paid it off 3 years later, and I've owned it for a very long time now. But I think going to get this dyno is right up there with some of these crazy stories. And could be a bust. The guy swears up and down It's only a couple years old. I've seen the invoice of it. I've seen the pictures of it. I've looked the guy's nitrous business up online. It's legit. So we'll see if this turns out to be a crazy disaster, like my truck going to the beach, or a crazy success, like my Corvette that I've had for 9 lovely years and have all kinds of fond memories of that Corvette. So we'll see. I'm a believer in God, and I think He works all things out for those that love Him and that serve Him. And I serve Him, so we'll see if He's going to use this to teach me a lesson to be less crazy, or whether He uses this to change my life and my family's life. So we'll see. I'll bring you guys along for as much of the ride as I possibly can.